Chairperson Steggy?
Here. Thank you. Welcome visitors. Would anyone care to introduce yourselves, or do you have anything to share?
My name is Liz. I live at 94 Potter Place. Nothing to speak, but just, that's who I am.
Thanks for being here. Sorry for that.
Is the mic on?
No, that's a camera.
No, I meant the podium mic.
Oh, maybe. It is battery right dead from last meeting. I think we're just gonna all talk about it.
Alright, we will. I'm not sure why that's happening. Welcome. And you didn't have anything to share?
No.
Okay. Thanks for attending. Alright, going through our agenda, first up would be unfinished business. Did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? Any questions, comments? Alright. Would entertain a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll just speak loud. Alright, moving on to new business. We have a report on the January 2026 cold weather impacts and future cost projections.
Well, wasn't that fun, January? So,
Super fun.
this past month will go down as the most expensive month historically Fairport's ever had. We can start there. But with that, there's a couple things we want to talk about. Our peak demand was not of historic proportions. We actually used less than we have in past cold snaps. Energy levels are similar to other historic cold snaps, but we brought our peak of our curve down, leveled things out a little bit, which are good things. Last month is similar in some ways to the 2014 polar vortex, which up until last month was the historically highest cost we ever had that was passed on to our customers. So we'll get into some details. The New York State ISO, which is what they take care of supply, they take care of generation, they take care of the grid, basically. They sold the highest cost of electricity to date. For the month of January, the average cost in our zone, 23 cents a kilowatt hour around the clock. At times hovered over 80 cents a kilowatt hour. This morning it's hovering near 50 cents a kilowatt hour. Many reasons for this. We've increased demand in New York State. We also decreased supply. Generation has certainly been taken off through Indian Point, downstate, it's a big nuclear, was shuttered. There's over 40,000 megawatts of generation that was fossil fueled that were shuttered. Canada's in a drought. We're normally importing hydroelectricity from Montreal. We're actually exporting into Canada. This is a long-term drought that they're seeing, and they're having drastic effects on their hydroelectric generation. Majority of the country was locked in cold weather, forcing gas prices to historic highs. The demand for gas across the northeast, across the country, there wasn't enough gas to run the generators that we did have, so we had to look at other types of generation. Had to rely on a dual fuel generation, which could be diesel, fuel oil type things, super expensive to run. Fairport, because we belong to NIMPA, we were able to procure a supplemental at 16 cents a kilowatt hour. Still scary, but it's not the 23 cents that was on the open market. Our power bills, which are three bills that we paid to New York Power Authority, National Grid, and NIMPA, were over $5 million in the month of January. It's about $500,000 more than the polar vortex in 2014. This over $5 million worth of invoices is gonna put us in the cash flow crunch. Remember, we get our invoices, they're net 30. Then by the time we send them out to our customers, net 30, it's 45 to 60 days by the time we see this money. We're gonna need to borrow from the village for about $500,000 so we can pay our bills, make payroll, stay fluid. As you opened your bills last time, your PPAC was 4.2 cents. That was the historic high up until 2014 polar vortex was 3.8, so we went to 4.2. We're most likely going near 7.5 cents in this next billing cycle. So that's added to our normal power costs, so that's over 13 cents a kilowatt hour is what we're gonna be selling for this billing cycle. How I prepared a chart, you know, and if you look at that, you know, this is a 5-year kind of just a line chart of where the PPAC goes. And you can see, you know, we bounce around a little bit and then we hovered near zero on 23. There was kind of an anomaly there with National Grid back into the system, so they had to pay people taking from their lines. But we hover now near 2 cents. It's kind of become our new baseline. You know, this is your Rex and Zex that we pay. That's never gonna go away. It's just gonna increase. So we can expect our PPAC to go higher. So, you know, as you see in December 25 there, you know, we went from 2 cents to 4.5, or 4.2 to near 7.5 is where we're headed. All the electric utilities in New York State were affected by this. It wasn't just Fairport, it wasn't just the munis. If you notice, RG&E, National Grid has press releases out, just like we're doing. They're trying to get the message out to the customers that the bills are gonna be, you know, huge. February starting out exactly like January. We hit our winter peak most likely this morning, at 7:30, near about 105 megawatts. The costs were, like I said, we're trading near 50 cents a kilowatt hour. The rest of February looks to mellow a little bit, which is gonna help us as we average it over the course of the month. You know, if we warm up, you know, and if temperatures go above normal, then we may put our power bills back to a normal level, which would be great. Our customers certainly feel the pain. We'll continue our social media blast weekly. You know, we need to get this out, because some of our customers won't see this for 5 weeks, this increase. You know, so weekly, you're gonna see, you know, notifications. So just a quick summary, you know, we use less electricity than other historically cold months. We can thank energy conservation, we can thank that the truly cold weather came on the weekends when businesses are closed. You know, that helped us sell a little less. You know, it's timing. We paid more for that electricity than ever before. You know, the trend's not gonna go away. This is kind of becoming the new normal. When weather goes outside normal trends and goes to extreme trends, we're gonna pay extreme prices. I mean, this is, you know, unheard of. I mean, but all the, you know, electric utilities are fighting the same battle. Loads are screaming, power costs are screaming, and, you know, just, it's a different world.
What is our time of day peak?
Typically, we peak at 7:30 in the morning. Our evening peak is less than our morning peak typically. You know, a lot of that is just the electric heat that comes on. Most people leave their heat up more during the day than, you know, not. But typically, businesses starting up, especially if it's a Monday morning like it was this morning, schools were closed over the weekend, you know, they always get their heat back on, businesses ramp up. So Monday mornings are usually, you know, if it's cold, you need a 3-day cold snap to really hit your peak, which is kind of what we had, and we just happened to hit it on Monday morning. So just wanted to give everyone a kind of heads up that, you know, bills are going to be high. Gonna certainly spend time in with customer service downstairs. You know, every phone call they pick up is somebody complaining. That means for a long day, people, when you have to work 8 hours and just listen to, you know, that. We'll work with them. We have budget billing. We've offered budget billing for many, many years. You know, people really haven't taken advantage of it. We'll continue to push that. I think that'll be, you know, advantage to people. Just
Can people switch to that midstream?
They can. You know, we can set it up pretty much anytime. You know, we have contracts, we do expect people to have trouble paying their bills. You know, we would expect our April list of disconnects most likely is gonna be very, very high.
And the disconnects being people moving out of apartments?
People who can't pay, and we can't turn people off in the winter. April 1st, we can start turning people off for non-payment. A lot of the apartments, people, once they realize that's coming, they move.
So you said our peak was actually lower than some previous.
So historically,
What's that scale?
you know, our peak, historically, we go back to was 121 megawatts.
Okay.
You know, so it was a very sharp curve. You know, this morning, you know, we're about 104, 105, 103 in January. So less. So that peak has come down. selling less, that's it. It's a lot of different things play into that, energy conservation, timing.
So that's interesting, even though we're moving toward more electrification, we've got electric cars, some different things that affect you. Questions? Next on the agenda, we have, let me turn the microphone across. Broken substation project update.
Yeah, so this project's been, it's been delayed, you know, as we had staff turnover and waiting on the material and things like that. This one will be a little different. We're not gonna do this 100% in-house. We do plan to contract some of the work out. We're actually working on bid documents for that. Plan to probably put some bids out here in March. We plan to finish it by December 31st of this year. Need to finish it. It was delayed by about a year, but we were still waiting on some of the material, some of the relays, breakers and things, just taking that long to get. So, you know, the money we set aside, we forecasted, you know, was right on for material. You know, one of the things we didn't forecast was, you know, labor. We have to do that, so that'll be an add-on. But we'll get through that as we work forward. Just want to give everyone an update on that.
So finish by end of year.
Finish by the end of the year, and the biggest change will be just, you know, unfortunately, we just can't complete it within house courses. We're just gonna have to contract some of that work out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions? All right, next up, discussion of ongoing projects.
So as you notice around the village, we've been working on High Street, we're working on Durant, you know, we're, the last few years, we've been doing a lot of capital work, like meter changes, substation projects. We still do our typical pole replacements, conductor replacement, but we've done less of that as we've done capital work. But this year, we're ramping up to do a lot of our normal capital work. So you'll see a lot more poles around the village, around the town we replace, conductors, you'll see guys working, you know, on the streets, you know, just to rebuild our infrastructure. So a little different scope of work, but you know, same amount of capital.
Less focused and flashy, but.
Correct,
the bones
correct.
of the maintenance.
Yes.
All right, any questions? Thank you. All right, next up, we have a discussion on the need for interfund transfer between general fund and electric fund.
Yeah, due to where our bills are, we're going to need to borrow money from the village. You know, we have done this in the past, we did it in Cold Vortex 2014, so I think this is the second time we've had to do it. You know, right now, I know I talked to Holly last week, we were near $200,000, but you know, village made a motion, or we'll make a motion for $650, we'd like to do the same. Just tweaking our bills, we don't know the final number. You know, we've done some estimates, we can make really good estimates on our bills, but unfortunately, there's some changes that are gonna pop up right at the end. So, you know, what'll happen is we borrow the money from the village, as soon as our customer pay us, we pay the village back. The village does get to set an interest rate, for that money. But we'll be right up pretty good, get a good interest rate.
And it'll be a short period of time.
Short period of time. You know, we've done, you know, we've borrowed from the village before, we could do a RAN, you know, revenue anticipation note, if the village didn't have enough money, but I think this would be, an easier way to do it. Luckily, you know, our reserves are sufficient. And the money's coming, it's just that 45 to 60 day delay, you know, so that's the issue. So, we need a motion in a second for that.
Okay,
So we'd
for
like to
that
do
650.
650 from the village general fund to the FMC fund.
Okay, so we would, 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 we would
Matt, talked a lot about what I'm already gonna talk about. But in terms of December, 2025, we have the financials for that month. Historically, as we are going into the winter and the kilowatt hours are up, we see a large loss and then a 45 to 60 day delay in terms of revenue coming in. So as of the end of December, we had a $650,000 net loss on the year. That is actually good in comparison to where we've been at historically. So last year at the same time of the year, we were at $1.5 million deficit. So that's the rate case going into effect, as well as the higher November usage, which helped to offset it a little bit. But overall, that's very on track with where we are at. We do make that money back in the springtime. However, for January, as Matt mentioned, the PPAC is historically high. We're forecasting it will be even higher for February PPAC. The cash flow is down about $350,000 for the month of January. Again, we're estimating that it is going to be substantially lower by the end of February. Estimating it to be about $250,000, but that's conservatively estimated, so hopefully we don't need anything, but we're gonna have the motion just in case, up to $650,000, just to buffer the actual costs. But we won't know how much people are gonna pay on any given day until we are at the end of the month. So that's why we need a little bit more flexibility in terms of what we're gonna be seeing coming in for the remainder of the month. Financials for December and January. Any questions?
Alright, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 9, 8 AM. How about a motion to authorize payment of the vouchers?
Second.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Now, next meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 9, 8 AM. Does that work for everybody? Next up, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session to discuss